We're now being joined by Karibo Samson, who is the Acting Comptroller General of the Federal Fire Service. Thanks for joining us on Newsnight. A very onerous task that you've been bestowed with, particularly in your submissions there, 106 trucks nationwide in a country of 774 local governments. How challenging, demoralizing can this be? And what kind of creativity can your officers and men bring to bear on the perennial fire incidents in the country?
Anyway, we just want to appreciate this present administration. From 2015 to date, we've been in heaven compared to where we were coming from. Before 2015, we had just about 3 fire trucks.
Nationwide.
Across the country.
Nationwide.
Wow.
2 in Abuja, 1 in Lagos. We were only covering those states operation-wise, like that. It was just like a dead fire service. It was more or less like a dead federal fire service. Mr. President came on board. Well, I don't know what he did. Maybe he's a fireman. He's a uniform man. I guess inside the khaki he puts on is a fireman. He took the fire service in the stride, and we are where we are today.
So he's taking the fire service to an El Dorado now.
Presently, we will say yes.
Ngozi, please, before you come in, I just wanted to do a quick follow-up.
Yeah.
But the problem of longevity of your servicemen, before now, I don't know how you're going to compare it. Well-trained fire servicemen, no equipment to work. It's like a farmer without hoes or cutlass, exactly. You know. It will be difficult to till the ground.
Yeah.
And it's like you train, your men are trained after gathering little experience, 5, 6, 7 years. Then go to the oil companies and the rest where they are better paid. So you keep losing men.
We were not training them. We were not training them. Somebody will just come in, walking through the front door after 35 years. It's only your basic training. At entrance, that is what you go out with. The experience they take to those oil companies is just the operational experience they get at fire scenes. We were not training our people. We had a very good, demoralized federal fire service. We used to turn out those days with mere slippers. Mere slippers, just your walking out kids. That was where we were.
That's really tough, because when you say that you were in a very, very bad place and you're in a good place now, and considering the fact that it's just 176 fire stations across the country out of a possible 774, what are the strategies that you're going to be bringing on board? Because it looks like your job is cut out for you. I mean, taking over at a time when Nigerians are still mourning, for want of a better word, the next shopping complex. Quite a number, really. You had the CAC in Abuja that went down, fire. The Treasury House that houses the office of the Attorney General of the Federation. You had INEC headquarters. You had Dugbe Market, and what have you. What are you going to be bringing on board to, change things?
Complex.
Yes.
Well, we've had a very good interior ministers in the person of General Abdurrahman Dambazau. He was there before the present minister. They both tried to help us, and they've put us on the pedestal where we find ourselves presently. We need the support of the government. Our response time is always bad. Yes, we are realists. We are firemen, we are realists. Where you have a state that has only 1 fire station, a state having 1 fire station with 18 local governments, as the case is, with only 1 fire station. If there is fire at the other extreme side of the state, how do you think, how many minutes or hours it will take for that 1 fire station or 1 fire truck to get to that fire? Maybe 3 hours. By the time we get there, there's a mob action against us, because Most people don't take firefighting issues into cognizance. You build a big mall, like what we just saw there.
At Next, yeah.
At Next. What was the reaction of the fire department on ground? We need everybody to be fire conscious. It will not happen, it will not happen. What if it happens? Every mall that big is supposed to have a fire department, a safety department.
Okay.
The truck should have been stationed there, apart from the water hydrants.
Okay, let us leave Next now.
Yeah.
A country this big with 774
Local
government. What stops us from having 2 fire stations in a local government? If we have such, the response time will be very quick. The response times will be very quick.
So that's why we want to find out exactly what your strategy will be, to change, that trajectory.
Absolutely.
To improve on, both response time, equipment of the fire service. And of course, you talked about funding. Are you going to be approaching the National Assembly?
We're already talking with our minister, Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola. We've been troubling him for funds. He has helped us a lot, but then we're going to go further. We want to get better than where we are presently. Without funding, there will be no fire service.
Absolutely.
Because our vehicles are costly. One fire truck could be costing at least 280 million
Naira.
Yes. Just one fire truck.
Standard fire truck.
Yes, a standard fire truck. Off the shelf. Not the ones you need to push and start.
Okay, very quickly, let's return back to the next fire, the issue of safety. How is your tenure and your service going to help bring that to the fore, particularly during construction, projects and the rest? We see towers, being erected. We've seen examples of fire outbreaks that were not, immediately put out, like the Urban or stores. What went wrong with the next mall, and what remediations can be done against the future occurrence?
Before 2015, like I said earlier, we had a staff strength of about 700. But now we can boast of a staff strength of 6,067 personnel. Nationwide. That is still a far cry from what we want. That is our starting block.
What's the ideal?
We want more personnel. Every fire station is supposed to have at least 180 personnel, because we run 3 shifts. We run 3 shifts. So every shift is supposed to have at least 40 or 50 officers. We have communication officers, we have drivers, we call them pump operators. Without the pump operators, your vehicle won't move. Yeah. If we are that equipped, with the maximum that we have 2 fire stations in a local government, I know the response time will be much.
Situate it with the next fire district. Nigerians want to hear.
Want to know.
They want to know.
The Federal Fire Service has a department known as Inspectorate, Investigation, and Enforcement. It is this department that is responsible to these issues. The Enforcement Department. They'll be going out shortly. After now, at the turn of the year, we just came back from a retreat where we worked on our documents that will empower us. Okay. Go into a building. If they don't meet our regulations, we have the power to shut down that building, no matter who owns the building. We want to save lives. That is our primary assignment. We want to save lives. Now, a mall that big is supposed to have a fire team that also runs shifts. We just put our businesses on ground without considering how we can safeguard this business. Fires come unannounced, unprepared. It comes just like that. So how prepared was the fire team at that premises for such an incident? We don't need to relax. The fire team does not relax. They work 24/7. They must not relax. So we're going to go out now. Every mall that has at least occupancy of about 200 staff must have exit level of at least 6 areas. Exit, 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 exit. So in case of evacuation, we know where people should be running to. There must be muster points.
Yes.
But then, before you put up a structure like that, you must come to the Federal Fire Service with your building plan so that we can vet what you have on ground. If it satisfies us, we okay it before you start your operation.
Okay, I'm glad you even talk about that, because I mean, I was going to ask about, you know, effectiveness of safety, fire safety regulations, if there are any, you know, how you plan to actually strengthen them. But it's not just malls.
Yep.
Markets have cost about 41 billion naira, yes, you know, within a space of 2 years, and you have other public facilities. How are you going to enforce, you know, the regulation?
We have this document which has not been made public because it's still in the works, and very soon we're going to bring it out. And by the time we bring it out, we know we have the needed personnel to enforce what we want. We need the backing of the National Assembly. Give it legal backing so we know, because if we come to your place, we tell you stipulations in that law book, as the case is. You will not be able to know what is there if you don't know that we have such a document on ground. If the National Assembly gives it an empowerment, we know we can now go out to enforce the stipulations in that document.
Okay.
Before March, the document will be made public.
All right. Thank you so much, Karibo Samson, Acting Controller General, Federal Fire Service. Thank you so much for joining us, and wish you the very best.